Good morning, my friends. Here we are, it's week 3. Can you believe it? This is 3 weeks over in our 1,000 pound challenge. We want to recycle, or I want to recycle, 1,000 pounds that I put directly back into my garden. Whether it's through the worms first, and then out in castings, or whether it goes into my compost pile. And I've been keeping track. I started the first of the year, and I've been keeping track. Whoops, dropped my little paper over here, sorry. And each day I write down what I've weighed, whether it's coffee grounds or fruit or eggshells or whatever. And I've been keeping track of it. It's been going quite well. And just to go over just a few of the things that I'm going ahead and weighing and keeping for your own thoughts. If you guys want to join this challenge, I'll take you up on it. No prizes other than just the satisfaction of look what I did. And any shrimp shells you have, any coffee grounds. I have been keeping just a little pie pan in my freezer on a particular shelf, and each morning as I'm making my yogurt with strawberries and grapes, the tops and what have you go into the freezer. I also save my avocado shells. Now these could be dried and then pulverized and used, but I think it's kind of more fun to use them almost like little fruit boats for my worms. So we don't have that many avocados, so this is kind of a fun thing. And this week I did explain to you about the avocado pits, which is a seed. You can cut it in half and then cut it in half again and then cut it in half again, so you've got an eighth. You could chop it however you wish and then pour boiling water over it and let it steep for a few minutes, and it makes a delicious avocado tea. You can add something to it. You can add sweetener to it. Somebody asked me if it was good for your plants. Well, sure. If it's good to go in your compost and break down the nutrients that come out of this, if you were to soak it or to boil it, and I mean, if it's good for you, you know, think of it that way. Is it good for my plants? Well, if it's good for me, it's probably good for the plants. So anyway, that's one of the things, or your fruit. I was taking my leaves, and I've been pulverizing leaves every day because it's a laborious process. Is to in my little NutriBullet, and I have and I want to use whole leaves, but I also instead of using cardboard bedding for my worms, because I have a couple little worm bins, I like to use the pulverized leaves. I wanted to talk to you about, and also coffee grounds. Don't forget to save your coffee filters and your tea leaves, and also the tea bags. But look up tea bags and your brand. You could Google it, and you'll see whether they are actually made out of cotton or if it has something else in it. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was I'm very fastidious. Things come in, they go out. We shop 3 times a week. We have really very little waste. We don't eat strawberry tops and we don't eat banana peels, but you know, we pretty much eat everything else. And a friend of mine, her channel is called Evergreen Gardens. It's all one word, and she's from India. Most of her videos are in Hindi, and but you can follow along. And she gives a little, you know, in her description, she gives a little English, enough so that you could follow it. And she soaks her banana peels for a day or two, and then she uses the water. She waters it down, and then she uses that for her plants. But also she takes onions and takes, even when she's using the onion, the paper of the onions, and she will soak those, and she makes an insecticide out of it. And there's always the controversy of whether you would give this to your worms or not. I'm probably not going to. This is very pungent odor, and I think it might be a little strong for my worms. I don't know. I have, I take very good care of my worms. I don't want to stress them, but I think this is going to get chopped up and put into the compost pile. And but don't forget your paper towel rolls, your toilet paper rolls. Across the pond, they call these loo rolls. What can I say? Anyway, eggshells. Don't forget your eggshells. And I like to pulverize mine. There's such a controversy on eggshells. Do you take the eggshell and rinse it, and then let it dry? And do you bake yours, and then do you pulverize them? Do you take an egg, crack it, let the insides dry, then pulverize it? I did it that way I've been doing this 13 and a half years. I did it that way for well over almost 13 years. And then I started hearing people who sounded like, sound the alarms, we're going to get salmonella, everybody's going to get, they're going to die. And so I started rinsing my eggshells and letting them dry out that way, and then I'd pulverize them and use it. The one interesting thing I wanted to mention was I got a sifter set for Christmas, and I've been training myself on how to use it. Seems like the simplest thing to do, but you know what? There's the wrong way, there's several right ways, but there's always a better way. And so anyway, I've been sifting, and I'm amazed, because when I look at this looks like powder to me. But when I'm putting it through the sifter with the 1/4 inch holes, I'm getting all these like little white pieces, and I thought, I know I'm sifting it finer than that. Well, apparently I'm not. And I have to think that if you take this and crumble it into a couple hundred pieces, well, then you have all those surfaces. If you take it and you pulverize it into 1,000 pieces, think of how much more surface area you have. If you pulverize it into 10,000 pieces or 100, you're really making it so much more available for the worms, and ultimately then for your garden to absorb that calcium. The same way with, this is shrimp shells, and that's what's in here. And when I pour it out, I mean, it looks, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there. I mean, it looks like it's coming out like powder. It looks like it comes out like, oh, is that powder? No, it's eggshell and shrimp shell. If you have access to oyster shells or clam shells or lobster shells, and you're able to break them down. I don't have a grinder that would in any way do that. I have a NutriBullet, and I have a spice grinder. It wouldn't take it. Anyway, I do what I can. But if you have access to that, or perhaps if you take it out and beat it with a mallet or something, you could get some clam shell dust, and you could use that. So anyway, okay. So now I've told you everything. Anything, stale crackers, anything along those lines, dryer lint, and any old cereals. I'm using my vacuum cleaner dust, and I told you last week that I figured we're living in pounds of dirt here, and I'm averaging about 0.3 ounces, which is close to, did I say 10 pounds of dust in our carpets a year? Can you imagine if you didn't vacuum at least once a week? I mean, I live in Florida, so we're in and out all day. Okay, so now the time to reveal. The first week I was really good. I did just over 20 pounds. And then the second week, do I have it here? Yeah, the second week we had both our grass clippings and my neighbor's grass clippings. So my total was 39 pounds, 3.9 ounces. So that was a little over that. And then this week, I'm starting to get a little shy here, and it came out to 14 pounds, 9.2 ounces. If you add it all together, I'm at 73 pounds, 15.2 ounces for 3 weeks. I have to do 20 pounds a week average to get to my 1,000, or just a shy under it. So far, I'm golden. I've got it made. However, I'm not going to have as much to weigh this week, but I have to tell you, it's making me more creative, because I'm going, let's see, do I really need that box? Let me shred it, weigh it, and put it outside for use in the future. And so again, it's making me more creative. It's fun, and if you're living someplace in the cold of winter and you're thinking to yourself, gee, I need a little project, boy, it's a great time to go through your closets and cupboards and say, well, let's see, can we recycle that? Can I shred it first and then put it out in my garden? So what can I say? I don't know what I'll have next week, but I hope it's entertaining for you, and I think it's a great project. I think truly it's just a wonderful thing to do, is to try and help Mother Earth. I'm hearing people say, well, we need to pay for this, and we need to pay for that, and we need to all go electric, and we need to all do this, and I think, here's somebody making the big show, and then here I am doing my little bit over a long period of time, and sometimes it's the tortoise who wins the race rather than the jackrabbit who's always trying to say, look at me, look at me. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you'll come back next Saturday or next Sunday and see how we did after week 4. We're almost to a month. I have some other projects going. The sifter, for one. I'm getting to be a pro sifter. So anyway, that was it. I will leave you with that, and I will talk to you all next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.